You've seen my video on Interrailing Italy and now you're thinking you might want a taste. But the question on your lips is Interrailing or Eurailing worth it for a budget traveller like yourself? In this video I condensed all the information that you need to know, including how an Interrail or Eurail pass works, the pros and the cons, and if it was worth it for the 10 days that we spent travelling around Italy. So an Interrail or Eurail pass is a prepaid pass that allows you to explore 30 European countries by train. So you can choose a global pass which allows you to explore a variety of European countries, which is great if you are long-term travelling through Europe, or you can get a one country pass which allows you to explore that one country of your choice. So after choosing the pass that you want, you'll then be sent a little package. So what you'll get in that package is you will get a Interrail wristband. You'll also get a pass guide which, just contains all the information you need to know, as well as, remember to bring this with you, it includes some extra lines in case you run out of space in your actual Interrail pass. So in order to use your Interrail pass, you will write down the date, month, time, your outbound destination, so from Naples to Pompeii, and then obviously tick off your train, bus, boat, obviously Interrailing, we took off train. So as you can see, we got the one country pass for Italy, and this allowed us 8 days of travel time in a 1 month period. I believe this cost about 105 euros, and it was also some extortionate stupid price of like 15 euros of postage and packaging. It was around 120 euros in total. So you have the security of knowing that you can get on almost any train at almost any time in any of those travel days. And also, trains are a really great way of getting around Italy. They're one of the quickest and easiest ways of getting around, and also they can offer some really great scenic routes. So an Interrail pass is also great if you're the kind of traveller that just likes to turn up to a country with no particular planned itinerary and just go where the wind takes them. Another one sort of on missing trains, with an Interrail pass of course you can get off the train at any time if you end up finding a place that takes your fancy, so you're not going to pay for another ticket because it's all covered in your pass. Just remember that you do have to fill it out in your pass before you get on the train. And also, trains offer a little bit more luxury than getting on a bus, so I guess there's like a luxury element of that. Getting an Interrail pass might not be worth it if you are taking short distance trips. So trains in Italy can be quite cheap, and we often found ourselves paying for tickets outside of our pass just because we didn't really want to waste a travel day on something that cost us like less than €2. While trains are pretty cheap in Italy, they're not the cheapest option. You can still go for buses, which makes transport even cheaper. In order to get the most value for money out of your Interrail or Eurail pass, I think it is better if you do plan your itinerary, just to make sure that you're maximising the value of travel in those travel days. And the con of that is that it can be totally exhausting. So we went from, you'll see it in our video, but we went from like Naples to Pompeii, Pompeii back to Naples, Naples to Rome. As I said, it's exhausting. Another con is that in peak tourist season or just busy times of the day, you might have to reserve a seat for a train, and that is not covered in your Interrail pass. I'll link the Eurail and Interrail site below because it explains it all in that. But generally in Italy we didn't pay for a single reservation, but we were kind of savvy with making sure that we weren't getting on at peak times of the day. Obviously, if you're thinking budget first, then the best thing for you to do is to plan out your itinerary before buying an Interrail pass. And that's because you can work out using the Rome to Rio app or the Trainline app to work out the cost of your trains or transport in general. This might be cheaper than buying an Interrail pass. Having said that, was it worth it for us? So I worked out the total cost of the trains independently as if we hadn't bought the Eurail pass, and it would have worked out a little bit cheaper. And that is simply the truth. Because we were trying to maximise the value of our Interrail pass by cramming in as much as possible on those travel days, we were kind of exhausted. So actually, it might have been worth it if we didn't take the Interrail pass because we would have had a little bit more freedom to take things at a slower pace. We are just talking about trains there. I haven't even factored in the fact that we could have taken buses, and when I did look on the Rome to Rio app, we probably could have halved our total transport costs. But for us, I guess as sort of first time travellers as a group, it was nice to know that our transport was covered, so it was something that we didn't really have to think about day to day. It was covered, it was one less thing to worry about. But as I said, it really depends on your priorities. If budget is your first and foremost priority and you've done travelling before and you're quite confident, then obviously don't bother getting an Interrail or Eurail pass. But also on the other hand, if you are a confident traveller but you want the luxury of knowing that you can get on almost any train, anytime, and you have no plans, then it might be a good factor. It really depends on what are your priorities, and that's something to figure out. So do look back on the pros and cons that I've mentioned and sort of figure out where you want to lay with that. So other tips. When you are using your Interrail pass, to get on the platform you will often have to show your Eurail pass as well as your passport. So do keep it close by so that you're not faffing around. Also, it's really important that you fill this out correctly, otherwise you might find that you get a €50 fine on the spot. Not great. If you're under 27 as well, there's no perfect time for you to go interrailing. You will get a discount on an interrailing or Eurail pass. And if you're thinking of going to Italy but haven't got a planned itinerary, as I said, I've made videos on it all. I went from the south to the north with a couple of my friends. So that might give you some insight and inspiration, so please do check those out. I really hope this video was useful for you. I know there's a lot of things to consider, but hopefully it has sort of led you in the right direction. So I'm considering making a few more videos on Italy, how we planned the travel or the trip as a group, where we got our inspiration from. But if there's something more specific that you would like me to discuss, then please do comment below and I will see if I can make a video on it. And as I said, any questions, any comments, concerns, I'm more than happy to help with, so yes. Cool, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.